So Manchester United win 2-1 as the positive side of me predicted. 2-1. I thought, I was originally the cynic in me said 3-0 Chelsea. And who knows, on a different day, if the red card doesn't happen, the match stays 11 versus 11, who knows what would have transpired. But I tell you what, we got the win, so 3 points is the utmost importance that we take away from this game. But my Christ alive, I am bewildered with that game. Absolutely bewildered. The most non 2-1 ever. Like, it just shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. It's like it's like a split in the road where you can either go to destination A or destination B. And there's no destination C. There's absolutely none. But United, when they come to this crossroads or come to this junction, they actually say, let's go to destination C. It's like, but it doesn't exist. How can we end up in place C when it doesn't exist? And that's kind of how I feel about this game. It just should never have been what it was, ever. So, first 10, 15 minutes is just absolutely atrocious for Chelsea. Completely atrocious. We start on the front foot. We're causing problems early doors. And we force the goalkeeper into making a absolute howler decision, running out the box and taking out Bruno. So, down to 10 men, and Maresca, I think, goes a little bit crazy with the substitutions. God only knows what was going through his head with taking off the players he did. Unless Cole Palmer ended up picking up an injury at some point, his substitution wouldn't have made any sense if it was tactical. I think taking off some of your attackers to put in, of course, you need to replace your goalkeeper. You're bound to sacrifice an attacker, but taking off another attacker in Pedro Neto as well makes absolutely no sense to me. So the footballing gods at this point are just shining down on Old Trafford, even though I was absolutely tipping it down. Cue the leaky roof jokes. And the game could not be more pro Manchester United. It could literally have not been more. I mean, it really could. You know, Cucurella could have been sent off for his yellow card challenge. He should have seen red for that. But, you know, we've already got we've already got the advantage, so who knows, maybe the referee's thinking a bit more leniency. Speaking of leniency, what should have happened is if a player on the winning team, right, who's up a man, is just manage the game and pick them apart piece by piece and see home the result. It seems like a very simple concept to some. A very simple concept to some. Unless your name is Casemiro or Ruben Amorim for that matter. Casemiro, I think, as an individual, as far as an individual goes, the guy's a walking red card at this stage. He is a walking red card. I don't understand why you think about making tackles. The game is so tilted in your favour. Literally, you don't even need to tackle anybody. You can just stand in everyone's way and mark up the middle of the park. You know, you've got the man advantage. The ball's predominantly going to be in your possession. So control possession. Just play the part in being the controller. That's all you have to do. So why he's going and picking up 2 yellow cards is an absolute joke. And on top of that, if this wasn't obvious enough, why is the manager looking at the situation and thinking, yeah, let's keep him on. Let's just let Casemiro do what he wants to do, whatever he wants to do. Casemiro, absolute stupidity, but more doom on Amorim for not managing the situation. Really. So, getting into half time, 2-0 to the good. It's 10 versus 10. You think, okay, so a manager's bread and butter here from this point's got to be make the right changes, adjust the shape, change the approach just a little bit, fine tuning. You don't need to go crazy with it. Just fine tune the team a little bit and set yourself up for a combatant second half, because you're not out the woods. 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. So Manuel Ugarte coming on. That should have been a substitution made for Casemiro when we had 11 players on the pitch. But let's not care about that, shall we? Instead, the player sacrificed is Benjamin Sesko. So your focal point that set up the chaos at the start of the game, judging that you're going to opt to go for a front two, would it not make sense if Mbeumo's played as a front two before? Sesko's a number 9. If you're playing 2 number 9s, is it not more proactive and more intelligent having a number 9 plus somebody who can play a 9 or feed off of your number 9? Or am I just loopy along with 99% of mankind? Because I'll tell you what, Ruben Amorim's in that 1%. He's in that 1% of people who'd make this decision versus everybody else, the billions of human beings on this planet that would not have taken a striker off to put the midfielder in. You would have taken your least impactful player. Amad Diallo was said player. He had a shocking game. Absolutely shocking game. Zero impact. Silly with the ball. Wrong decisions. Low impact. So Ugarte coming on. Great, fantastic. Why didn't you take Amad off? Why didn't you go with a logical front two? If your focal point is going to be in getting that midfield strong enough to provide service to those number 9s, well, why didn't you do that? So there's problem number 2. You could say strike 2 at this point. Failing to manage the situation with Casemiro. Strike 1. Making a stupid substitution to kickstart your second half. That is strike 2. So Matheus Cunha comes on. Mason Mount. 2 players coming back from injury at the 65th or 69th minute, respectively. Cunha in the team, I can see from a creative standpoint. Do you know what I would have done? Is Bruno Fernandes goes off for Matheus Cunha, right? You transfer your captaincy to Matthijs de Ligt, because that guy there is probably the closest thing to captain material on that pitch at that point, right? The closest thing to a captain's material. Formerly a captain or captain or vice captain for Ajax when he was still there. Yeah, he has got a strong enough character. He has got a very much a strong enough character. So Mazraoui going off, I think, then pushed Amad to play more wing back. Don't know why we're still persisting with wing backs. We should have transferred it to a back 4 and aimed to control the game against a Chelsea side that has literally taken off their creative, most dangerous players. No Cole Palmer, no Pedro Neto, no Esteval. Joao Pedro's he's alone. He's absolutely alone. I mean, what's surprising to me is how Jamie Gittins didn't come on. When blood was in the water, why didn't Gittins come on? You could have done something with that substitution. No idea. Bringing Brian and Burma off for Mason Mount. That's just a nothing substitution, man. Just a nothing substitution. Makes no sense. Bring Lenny Oro onto the pitch in replace of Harry Maguire. You're putting a bit more pace on there, which energy for the back line. Because at that point, for some reason, we were sort of conceding the game a little bit. And of course, 10 minutes later was when Chelsea scored their goal. And it was really, really tense. Really, really tense running to the end of the game. Kobbie Mainoo was the last substitution, replacing Bruno Fernandes. I don't know what is that like. Bruno can survive the apocalypse under this manager, but why is he just out of nowhere saying, "Yeah, now you're going to come off, Bruno. Now you're going to make way for Kobbie Mainoo"? I don't get it. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. The fact is that when the final whistle went, we all breathed a sigh of relief. You would never have thought that's the end at 2-1, scraping it through, when at the 37th minute we scored the second goal with Casemiro, and we had a man advantage, and we're the home team. You would never have thought the game would have ended 2-1 and us absolutely terrified for our lives. If anything, it just says, well, I guess Brentford are licking their lips. I mean, they're currently winning 1-0 at the time of this recording. Let me just confirm that. While they were winning 1-0, Fulham have managed to turn it around to 2-1. Well, there you go. 2 goals in 2 minutes for them. So they were winning 1-0. But still, Brentford away, what does that game mean for Man United? Because I'll tell you what, with 11 versus 11, if we can't manage a game or see out a game with against a 10-man Chelsea side that have absolutely, I think Enzo Maresca just lost his head a little bit with it, right? Like, nobody anticipated Chelsea would be down to 10 men within the first 5 minutes of the game. No way. So, to me, it's just a really baffling result. And I'd love to know what everyone else thinks. Like, is everyone else a bit confused by that game? Is anybody else surprised by how the game ended up playing out? Because I'm pretty sure when you get handed as much of a free pass to a win as United had, you usually see out the game quite comfortably. But United did everything, and it really felt like they did everything in their power to lose that game. As if Ruben Amorim left Old Trafford today feeling a little bit beaten down. Like, damn it, I could have been sacked after today. I could have been free. I could have taken a big fat paycheck home with me and be able to go start afresh somewhere else. It's like it was almost a feeling of like, I'll smile for the cameras, but I feel quite weighed down inside, and I just get that sinking feeling that that's how Amorim perhaps felt after the game with how he managed it, because 90% of that game No other manager on planet Earth is doing what Amorim does. Like, genuinely, 90% of all other managers would not do what Amorim did today. They would have managed the game a whole heck of a lot better. But as I've said, 3 points are 3 points, right? We're up to 10th place, I believe, as of right this minute. That was Chelsea's first loss of the season as well. So we are 1 point behind them on the same games played. Crystal Palace up ahead on 9 points. We are 2 behind them. Points wise, we're not that far away. We've got Brentford away next, of course, and followed up by Sunderland at home. So any other club would say, well, 6 points there. If we're on 7 now, that's 13 points. That gets us potentially, judging results go our way in other fixtures around us, we could see ourselves in top 4 positions, which is a very nice optic for Manchester United. It is a very nice optic, and I think we should, as Man United fans, welcome that. As for how long it lasts, we'll have to see. But at the end of the day, getting 3 points is the most important thing. But it's one of those that I think ignorance may be bliss, but I think we'd be a bit silly to play ignorance or feign ignorance to the outcome, how the events of today transpired. So, yeah, but 3 points are 3 points, and I guessed a 2-1, and we got the 2-1. So, onwards and upwards, fingers crossed, that we do get another 6 points in the next 2 games. One can only hope. But, yeah, man, Ruben Amorim, buddy, you do not have my vote of confidence. I'm afraid you do not have my vote of confidence after the absolute chaos that you tried to pull today. The utter chaos. But let me know if you guys agree. If you guys think that today we should have been a very comfortable game for United, or do you think it's fully justified that we scrape through that game from such an advantageous position? And whilst you're at it, hit the likes and subscribe. Sunday night takeaway show tomorrow, perhaps. We can divulge in the conversation of the game a little bit more, as well as talking about the other games that went on this weekend. Of course, a big fixture tomorrow. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Very big game. Very big implications. A must win for both clubs. Definitely more so for Man City to get themselves up into the much more prominent positions. Bournemouth could put themselves in a very tidy position as well. You know, don't forget them. That's Bournemouth versus Newcastle. So let's see what happens. But yeah, man, it should be a good Sunday tomorrow, and hopefully we are around for the Sunday night takeaway show. If we are, we'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday nights, and yeah, we'll see you guys perhaps tomorrow. Take care. Stay blessed, and glory, Man United.